Hey friends, Dr. Brandy here. I am really excited to introduce you to a wonderful woman. If you have a money story that you would like to change, Mandy is your girl. She's a powerhouse coach. I'm just new working with her, but she's already starting to help me change the way I think about money, like my relationship to money, how what I even think about, like when I'm spending every dollar, I'm like, Mandy's in the back of my head. So which is awesome because I tend to be an avoider and I just make money and spend money. So I have a vision for something better for myself in the future. And Mandy, I'm really excited to be working with you. Thanks for being here.
Oh, absolutely. I'm super excited to work with you. And I love to hear that you're having some shifts already. Sometimes they happen really, really quick, like the easy ones. And then we have to dig into like the deep seated beliefs and thought patterns and habits and flip those to really get like lifelong change. But those first quick ones always help people see, like, oh, I can do this. This is not as scary as I thought it might have been.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because I'm all about mindset change. Like that's the essence of my work in the world. So, I've been working on these things around my own health and well-being, and around money to a large degree. But now I'm like ready to step into this new place in my life. Like I'm like, okay, here I am. I'll be 50 the next month. And I have a new vision about where I want to be in, the next 5, 10, 20 years. And yeah, so I'm really excited to be working with you. And what I want to say is just that thank you so much for making it easy.
Aw, thank you for that. And you're welcome.
Yeah, I think that's important to say because, you know, a money coach means that you're going to have to like make all these changes and look at all this stuff and track all this stuff and whatever else goes with the thing, right? But you have such a powerful story of your own that helped you get to where you are and to be able to share this with other people. And I'm telling you, when I heard you speak, I was just like, oh my gosh, this girl knows it. I don't know, maybe not better than anyone else, but really, really well. Like you understand what it means to be at the bottom and to how to get yourself out of the hole. And so for people who are even just scared of looking at their money story, you just hold such a beautiful container to have to support people in their looking at things and making small shifts and increments and incremental shifts in their life around their money story.
Thank you for that. Yes, money is one of those things that it either has like it's not energizing to someone at all, or it's very energizing. And if it's energizing, 9 times out of 10, it's in a really negative way. And a lot of that,
Mm,
as you kind of heard, comes from our parents, our grandparents, and what they fed us as kids, but then also our own personal experiences. And I know personally, like I have a story that many people, like everybody who works with me ends up hearing at some point, but I hit like pretty much rock freaking bottom financially before I was like, hold the hell up. What am I doing? How do I fix this? And I started digging into it for myself. And in doing so, I felt all that shame and embarrassment and guilt and fear of talking about it because I was like, people are going to judge me. Like,
mm,
who makes these mistakes? Like, that was the mindset I was in, was like, nobody else has ever experienced this. Like, this is the worst thing in the world I could have ever done financially. And so because of my own experience, I truly, 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 I don't bring shame or judgment to the conversation. I'm like, you are where you are, and that's where we're going to meet and we're going to build from there. But one thing I really focus on is like eliminating for my clients, like eliminating the self shame and the self guilt and the self doubt around the finances,
mm.
because that shame and that guilt piece is what often prevents people from taking that next step to better their situation, to understand their situation, to analyze, review, and change their situation. So
Mm.
when we can dive into that shame and that guilt and get rid of that, it makes it a lot easier. So that is one thing that I love that you recognize, that because that is something I truly am passionate about, is making sure like there is no shame, no guilt, and you will never get judgment from me, because I promise you probably haven't done anything worse than I did.
Yeah, I really feel that truth with you. And that's why I really wanted to share this with everyone I know because I mean, I work with a lot of women around shame, around body shame. And I understand the depths of shames. I've had it for myself, in so many different ways. And to help women and help people just wake up to a new reality for themselves, to help them lift up their consciousness to a place where they feel capable and can build confidence for themselves, and to like create space for their evolution and their growth so that they get to experience something greater in their life on a financial level, and possibly share that with their kids or the people that see them as leaders in their world.
Oh, yes, and I love that piece of it because as you heard me say when you came and saw me talk, I was talking about the money story that we have and the fact that especially as women, our money story is very highly influenced by our parents, our grandparents, our spouses, our colleagues, our friends, because traditionally, if you look at history, women are not good with money. It's always been a man's world, a man's role, a man's job to handle the finances. And I hope this doesn't offend anybody watching, but damn it, I'm ready to change that.
Yes.
And as women, we have that power so much more than men do because we're so empathetic and we're so open and we're so aware and we're moving into the space in the world where women are rising. But as women, we have the impact on our children so much more when it comes to those conversations.
That's
And
right.
so, like, if you have sons, teaching them that that's not just their role is just as important as if you have daughters, teaching them that they can step into that role confidently and powerfully. And
Yeah.
it doesn't change the fact that they're still a very feminine person.
Love that. And goodness knows I wish I had well, I don't. I don't want to wish I had something different than I have, because I'm so grateful for my life. I mean, we all have challenges, and it was challenging in some points in my life, but it made me who I am today. And if I had a child, I would really want to show her a new way, show her that she can be empowered around money and her own boundaries, and be okay with who she is in the world and show up so powerfully. And money is like in our root chakra. It's how we relate to the world. It's how we move through the world, because it's like really about survival and how we like be here in the body, right? And when
Yeah.
we disregard the feminine aspect of that, when we disregard like our creative power and the flow that comes from that, and we just leave it up to somebody else or just think we can't, then we're really letting ourselves down. So I just want to say thank you so much, and I'm really excited. I jumped all in with you because I was like, hell yeah, I'm doing this. But there's also like the challenge that's coming up, which is such a small investment. And I just thought, man, I hope I know a lot of people who can do this challenge with me, because it would be so fun. But tell us a little bit about the challenge you have coming up in September.
Oh, yes. So this particular challenge is all around money mindset because as we're rolling into the fourth quarter of the year, you add in on top of just that closeout of the year, you add in the holiday aspect and the spending components that come with that. And you add in the guilt that comes with if I don't spend so much on people. So, like, this is a really timely challenge going into this fourth quarter, all about money mindset. But so the challenge itself is ran in my private Facebook group, which is all for members of the challenge only. So you're not going to get a lot of other stuff in there. September is completely focused on this challenge. So the way the challenge is going to work is the first week of September. So starting on Labor Day, September 5th, I will be doing short, quick videos every day on just a mindset tip, a mindset trick, a hack, a way to identify some of those sabotaging behaviors or statements or thought patterns that we all have, that when we shift those, it can have a massive impact on our life and our finances. And so week one will be all just some quick tips and videos, or quick videos with tips. That's the words I was looking for in week one. Then week two is all about accountability, actually implementing those things and taking a week to start to really dive into those and implement those. So week one, we have the tips. Week two, you're going to implement those a little bit more. Then we repeat that in week 3 and 4. And so those that have gone through this before, when you actually do the work that's in the challenge and you watch the videos and you start to implement those and you start to really process and think about those, they have seen massive mindset shift at the end of a month. And when you can have massive mindset shift in a month for an investment of $75, my encouragement and ask is why not? But
Yeah.
so yeah, so lots of good stuff in there. And the real bonus of the group beyond the money mindset challenge is you have access to all the past stuff I've done. So if you really want to focus on finances, like diving into that group with prior things is also an added bonus you get for the investment of just joining the group. So
Awesome. I love it. And honestly, I mean, even just like, I know in the past, like I've met other money coaches, and my first thought was like, how can I hire a money coach if I'm struggling with money? And when I heard you speak, I don't know, I guess I'm just in a different place in my life now, but I was just like, yes, yes, because I feel such a resonance from you that is like, I'm going to hold your hand. I am going to help you through this. I am going to show you how I did it. And I did it from rock bottom. So you can too, so I'm just really excited to be a part of this. And I jumped all in because I figure the actual investment to work with you is really not that much. And I'm pretty darn sure that the money that you're going to not only cause me to save, but make in the future is going to well surpass my investment to work with you. So I have no doubt about that whatsoever. So I'm really excited. Thank you for being here with me.
yes, thank you. And I love that you brought that up because that is a conversation I have all the time. People are like, I struggle with money. Why would I pay somebody or how can I afford to pay somebody
Yeah.
to help me financially when I'm struggling financially? And I just want to like flip that back and shift it again, just a small mindset shift. And I want you to look at what is going to happen if you don't invest into something
Mm.
with your finances, especially in that arena, because especially as entrepreneurs, we invest in our businesses, we invest in our education and our knowledge. As individuals, we should be, if we're not, we're investing in our health and our well-being and our mind and all of those things. Well, when it comes to your finances, and I'm very upfront about this, I'm like, there's literally nothing I teach or I know that you couldn't go spend hours upon hours Googling and figuring out. So it's not like when somebody hires me, it's not like they're paying me for this magic secret that I have that nobody else knows. You're paying me for the fact that I walked this journey for the last, I mean, it was about 7 or 8 years ago that I hit my rock bottom. I've walked that journey and I've done the work and I've put the time in and I've done all the research and the education and those pieces of it to be able to help you get there faster. So when you're
Mm.
looking at that of whether it's investing in a finance coach or anybody, the question you should really be asking yourself is if I don't do this, am I going to be moving along this line or am I going to be staying stagnant here? And so that's the benefit of hiring any type of money coach is that right now you might be here and you want to be here. Well, that could be a 7 year journey like mine was, or with the expertise of somebody who's gone that route and done that work, you may shorten that journey to 2 to 3 years instead of 7.
Mm.
And
Beautiful.
that's the benefit that comes from the investment truly.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So
Awesome. Thank you for that. So I will, in the comments below, I'll put a link to your group. So people can go check that out. I'll put a link to your website so people can check that out. If there's anything else you want me to share, just let me know or put it in the comments below the video once we post it in the Facebook group. And yeah, if anyone has any questions about my experience with Mandy, feel free to reach out. And if you're just like hungry for a new experience and want to do some fun challenge with me, jump in with us.
yes. And if anybody has questions, Dr. Brandy's going to have me tagged in the post. So feel free to just send me a Facebook message, ask your questions, and I am more than happy to answer those.
Awesome.
So
Thank you so much,
awesome. Thank
Mandy.
you so much.